Hello and welcome. I'm Psychic Medium Roberto, and I truly hope you're doing well today. All right, so the pinging continues. If you do enjoy a spy thriller, then this one should be for you. And trigger warning, we are dealing with a true crime event and deals with sensitive subject matter. And then a disclaimer, all cases are treated as alleged until proven in a court of law. All right, so we have the case of Gareth Williams. And if you're not familiar with the case, he worked in British Secret Service or intelligence at varying degrees, but more on the computer side. Let's do like a mini, aka Snowden situation. And mysteriously, he is found in a red duffel bag which was placed in the bathtub, and the case was ruled as suicide. All right. That's the context I'm dealing with on this case. And it reminds me of a case that I did a while back on Ellen Greenberg. And what a lovely human being. What a lovely soul. A suicide or murder case. Now, on the bottom right of the picture, you will see there is multiple stab wounds to the back of the body and multiple stab wounds to the front of the body. Now, let's just say, for example, we'll use high school, and I know America has a different bit of schooling system, but let's just say in your high school, let's say from the age of 13 to 18, during class, you missed half of your biology lessons, okay? So if you took biology and you missed half of your classes throughout of your schooling career, you will still be able to determine that that could not be suicide in the Ellen Greenberg case. Yet it is officially listed as suicide. And in the context of Gareth Williams, Gareth somehow managed to put himself in a duffel bag and lock it from the outside with a padlock. So maybe I should get a picture of that padlock, but just believe me when I say you can go, there's enough evidence on Google Me on Gareth Williams. Please note, I do get a very negative energy around this case. The manner of death, very negative energy around there as well. And in my opinion, as in the Ellen Greenberg case, it doesn't take a scientist to realize that something is amiss in the system. And I believe Gareth has been set up here. So now there's one other issue that I will address, and that is the crime scene was staged. Well, let me just say, the crime scene as we know it had a lot of women's clothing all over it, that they cast Gareth as a deviant in some way, cross-dressing and got caught up in the wrong crowd, whatever the situation might be, right? Now, be that as it may, each to their own, if that's your pleasure. However, when I start looking at the dates, I get a very different story. And I made a conscious decision just to include the day of discovery and 3 days thereafter to see exactly what was going on in the situation. Now, in the coroner report, it is listed that he would have, according to the coroner, and I'm not including that information for a reason, but I'm just saying there is a determination when he would have, in their minds, committed suicide because they found him in his apartment, right? To cut a long story short, I did not include those dates and I did not look at them at all, and for a reason, because in my opinion, we have the discovery day. That is like the day of the event. And 3 days after, we'll start reflecting who and what the motive was in the situation. So when we have the discovery day on August the 23rd, 2010, already that 23-5 is pinging on me hard in a criminal situation. Now remember, I am talking mainly in the negative aspect of these numbers. So please don't be alarmed if I mention a similar number of yours. In numerology, there's 5 other numbers or 6 other numbers or 4 other numbers, however you want to put it. There's a lot of numbers in play. There's a context. There are different people in play. So it's a whole, it's a collection of numbers, right? Yeah. So on Discovery Day, 23-5 in my mind is an indication of foul play. Now, some might laugh and say, well, of course, he's been murdered. Now, but remember, the narrative at the moment is that he committed suicide. So, in my opinion, the 23-5 is telling me already, or warning bells. This is not exactly what you think or what's been said about the situation. Let's put it that way. It's a lie. It's as good as a lie. And now 31-4, I mean, if we want to get on the real, would be decomposition. The 4 is always about the anatomy. Okay, it's a medical number. It's the, how can I put it? It's the legal side of the body, whereas 8 is the biology of the body. Okay. 4 is like the functions, correct? Yeah, functions. 31-4, so we got a breakdown in function. Now, of course, the body would have been decomposed because, based on the date range, I believe, I'm not going to guess. I did see it, but I can't recall it. But it would have been quite a few days before this day. So, on the other hand, we have 13-4. The story version is we have a death. Now, already in the shadow, we've got 34-7. That's already telling me organized crime situation. This was like a hit. However, what's reflecting is the 16-7 made to look like suicide. And I do have confirmation on my confirmation day. I believe the main confirmation day is August 26, 2010. We note the 26-8 staged. 16-7 in conjunction with 15-6 on the following day, made to look like suicide. So when the first police person walks into that apartment, what they see is a lie. So in other words, Gareth certainly did not put himself in the bag, zip it up, and then lock it with a padlock on the outside, and then hold his breath until he passed out. The natural body, and I've just been reminded to go back to Ellen, yeah? the natural body, and I'm no doctor or pathologist or scientist, but we all watch CSI and shows like that, just saying. The body will naturally start rebelling against the issue of not getting oxygen. So in other words, you would expect that the bag, although maybe the best, toughest bag in the world, would at least show signs of struggle from within. That's just natural biology. However, when they found the bag, it's in pristine condition, like it was just bought the day before. Except it had a bad odor coming from it. Like the cover-up story that was presented in the media about Gareth Williams. Big cover-up. So when we get to August the 24th, we see 24/6. Now, who are the perpetrators? And I did use plural, so I will remain with plural. Who were the perpetrators? Now, because it's a 24/6, we have familiarity. Hey, I know you, you familiar. You might not be best mates at work, but you recognize the person. You might say, hi, how are you? But definitely familiar in the workspace, right? So what I'm getting is the people responsible for this assassination or murder both being the same. Well, assassination would mean something completely different. So let's stay with assassination. Would be familiar to Gareth in the sense of, hey, you also work at MI6. I saw you have Dunkin' Donuts the other day when we had the group workshop. And then we get to August the 25th. And I don't mean to make light of this, but the numbers are just blaring. Did I say that? Blaring at me. I kept on getting pinged that someone was missing on my chart. Oof, do we want to go there? Was Blair in power in 2010? Should we have a look quickly? We can always edit if it's not. Okay, some of you might have the answer, whether yes or no. Blair, what was his name? Tony Blair. Tony Blair. There he is. He was in office just before, huh? Till 27, by the looks of things. I just had a moment. I'm checking something. All right, no. Okay, let's leave Blair out of it. I want to just make 100% sure when he was in office. Okay, till definitely 97, till 2007. Special envoy of the Quartet of the Middle East in office 2007 to 2015. Now, if we know what we know, you don't have to be the president to make orders happen, right? I'm going to call Blair's, now call it a psychic hunch. Now his date of birth is hiding from me. There you are, you cheeky bastard. All right, let me just have a look here quickly. I'm going to press pause, just not to delay. All right, so I didn't stop for too long. All I did was get the date structure in place on the slide here, just so it makes it easier for me to, now I'm going to see the numbers, right? We got one hit already, ladies and gentlemen. One hit guaranteed already, 18-9 in the year that Blair is born. And then we got the 11-2 in the day with the 9, which gives another 11-2. If you want to be, no, let's see. Yeah, 11-2. Oh, those aren't really, like, let's just say on the positive, they would probably be very great numbers. I mean, let's be honest, as a politician, 11-2 is that negotiator, you know. It's all about negotiations, law. But not entirely the best numbers for presidency. So what do we have? 18-9. 11-2. Yeah, I don't think it was in there. 11-2, we got the 9s. So we got the 9s on the August 25. The positioning of, let's say, Blair's 9s is at the root, whereas the 9s is like the outcome more of the day, not so much in the root, but the outcome. I don't believe Blair's involved, Joe. Hold on a second, Joe. Hold on, Roger. What do we have here? I think we got a direct hit. 11-2 on Blair's birthday. And I'm going to mark it in blue just so we show it as differently on the chart, no other reason. So 11-2 is a direct hit with the MI6 as well. So Blair's definitely connected with the MI6. Remains connected, I would imagine. But I'm not seeing, so obviously MI6 is involved, and by, let's say, if we go as the puppet master, would certainly be toiling who does what, when, and how. And those 18-9s, not very pleasant if they become trapped in a corner, or if we had to do the pressure test. 18-9s can be really volatile. So there's a direct connection with MI6 for sure. But I'm not seeing any. There would be a reflection on August the 27th. I mean, we would have to do a deeper dive. Well, we certainly have the 5s and 6s from. Well, the 5s and 6s are in play for Blair. So definitely, it's like. So I'm getting the feeling I'm getting. I'm going to give you the feeling first. The feeling I'm getting is like a brushing, like a light feather brushing by me. It's like he's there, but he's not there. It's a light touch on the situation. And of course, if you know, or if you've watched a lot of espionage type movies, which are very exciting, I must say, but of course with lethal outcomes, people start to not believe what has been put out in the media. Yeah. So I'm definitely getting Gareth now as, I'm going to finish that sentence. I'm definitely getting Gareth as being set up here. Now, the reading is not necessarily meant to who, why, how, and when, but I just thought the way it's been set up, the way it's been narrated in the media, when I looked at it from a numerology point of view, did not make sense. So like the story did not fit the maths. The story do not fit the numbers. The story does not fit the numbers. And it is so easy for these dark side MI6 in the face of the public is the president holding the baby. Meanwhile, quite the opposite behind closed doors. And I mentioned this in a previous video, and it's fine. People can, or let's put it this way, people that are in these kind of organizations, there's always going to be gray, blurry lines, right? But when it becomes the mainstay, is where it becomes a problem, right? Because then it just becomes another useless tool. So that's where I personally take exception with, or exception to, that the injustices created by or caused by those that are meant to be of just nature are, one, being hypocritical, lying to the people, and the people are rising. The fodder machine keeps turning out bullshit, right? So in my opinion, when we get to August the 25th, evidence of a hit 25-7. 7 is the unlawful death of a human being. That when you have 15-6, the staging is already in play, but it also, look, it pings directly on, I'm looking at it from an overview point of view, but of course it pings directly on Gareth. Gareth, there's a hit on Gareth of a murderous nature, 18-9. But the staging, when you get to the 16-7 on the following day, the 26-8, even the 36-9, it's like, and in fact, there's my answer, 36-9. And I had an impression of when I was looking for a picture of the duffel bag, and I'm just going to go to that picture now. In my opinion, he was killed or murdered somewhere else and then placed there. That's the impression I have. And it has now been verified for me. 36-9 is the body was placed there. And we see the 26-8 combined, 26-8, beg your pardon, 26-8. Staging. We saw that also in the several episodes leading up to this one. A lot of staging going on here. People tampering with the crime scene. Same in the John Bonet case. Tampering with the crime scene. The evidence in the John Bonet scene, in the John Bonet case, has been contaminated by the police, or various elements of the policing authorities around that case. The evidence has now become so contaminated. So when we get to August the 26th, 16-7 made to look like a suicide, 16-7 made to look like a suicide. The problem is we have that 26-8. When the sun rises, and I mentioned before that 23 is 5, the August 23, that 23 is a 5. It is a lie. Foul play is about. That we have the 37-10-1, another deal clincher here, 37-10-1, group effort to kill this person. So although MI6 might be running the operation, the dirty deed might have been done by a different kind of unit within a unit within a unit within a box within a box. But the outcome is still the same. Murder 19-10-1 by an organization for self-gain. The 1s and 3s ping directly on the MI6. Ding, 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 ding. If you wanted a match, you've got a match. All right. Let me just make sure I've given all the information. Yeah. Let's have a look here. I still get the sense that possibly other people involved, so that might have been that other unit within the unit, but certainly how it's portrayed in the media, and please feel free to go watch the documentaries. I didn't watch too much. All right, let me know what your thoughts are. I always like to engage with your comments. Hit that subscribe button if you have not subscribed, and thank you for watching this far. Stay safe, stay alert, and I'll see you in the next one.